Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Christiana Davidson, and I'm a very grateful psychotherapist and hypnotherapist. And as you know, I work in the area of narcissistic abuse, whether that's childhood with a parent or in an adult relationship, in whatever form that may be, bosses, friends, siblings, parents, you name it. The topic for today, and I want to dive straight in now, is healing from a narcissistic relationship. And this is something I suggest you have to be willing to do in order to be completely free. So bear with me now. So many of my clients have learned everything they need to know about narcissistic abuse. I mean, they come, with all the knowledge. I can often not much in that sense because there's so much access to information, and many come with that already. However, there's one thing that, despite all this knowledge, seems to keep them in a place of still having one foot in the relationship with the narcissistic person in their life. They may have, started to put in boundaries, they may have gone no contact, or they may have, I don't know, started to limit the time that they talk to the narcissist or whatever. However, there is this one thing that sort of keeps them maintaining the relationship, even just loosely, in some way, shape, or form. And this is what this video is about. So listen out, and if you resonate with this, hopefully it may bring you some clarity about what to do next. So what is it that keeps us sort of tentatively exiting but staying in some capacity in these relationships, especially when it comes to parents, I think, or family members? What keeps us sort of tiptoeing around the narcissistic person in our lives still? Well, I'd like to suggest that the answer is the fear of losing something. If you don't stay, if you don't continue to comply, if you don't stay in your subservient role of being an enabler, or people pleasing, or not having boundaries. So there's something that the narcissistic person in your life has the power to give you, or you believe so. So, for example, it could be that if you really step up and speak up and change, it may bring up a fear of losing something you believe and they believe is a big loss for you. It could be the fear of not having an income, which is often a key one. The financial aspect is something to really be aware of how strong that power is over people. Or it could be of leaving the relationship and having to get a job, of facing that. Maybe you haven't worked for years, it's a big fear. It could be the fear of losing out on the plans that you've made with this person, maybe some kind of dream vacation, or plans for your retirement, or the dream home that you were going to build together. So there's a fear of losing that and not being able to have it without them. That's key. It could also be the fear of them excluding you from the family or the social circles that you're used to being in. And you believe, it's when you're with them that you're able to be in those circles. It could be the fear of them never love bombing you ever again. Of, in fact, not wanting you in their lives. That can be a major fear that we have to face. And in fact, that they may hate you. They may reject you for good. Because let's face it, what keeps us in these relationships sometimes are those little breadcrumbs of love that boost up our self-esteem. It may be the fear of losing out on other prospects for you, like if it's at work, a promotion, or the salary increase that was promised, or relocating somewhere, being able to relocate somewhere that they have the power to help you gain access to. It could be the fear of what they will say to others about you if you really disappoint them. Or it could be the fear of breaking away from them and then failing and being seen to fail, so that they can look at you and go, oh, see, I told you so, you couldn't cope. It could be thinking that being in this relationship is better than nothing. Rather have this relationship than no one, and have to face that loneliness. And this is so key in the work that I do with clients. Almost all of them, well, I would say all of them, come to me with the fear of experiencing that deep loneliness, and that comes from childhood. And of course, narcissists know how to sort of create that sense of loneliness even in the relationship anyway. It could ultimately also be the fear of facing your own life without the distraction of them. Because then you've got to bring your eyes back to you and think, okay, well, what am I doing with my life now? I don't have somebody else as the center of my world, and to focus on them and to need to escape from them. And, now I've got to look at my life and have a plan for me. What do I want is the question that many avoid having to ask by staying in these relationships. It could be a fear of not having the excitement, the highs and the lows, the push-pull. It could be any of these fears that are subconsciously in the background, keeping you sort of tentatively still connected with that narcissistic person in your life. So I suggest what we must do to be free, to be truly free, is to finally be willing to risk all of these games, all of these things, but not only to do it in thought, but to actively do so, to actively step up and to start acting with assertion around the narcissistic person, to step out of your role and to put in boundaries, to say no, to not comply. That is the active part of risking these games. We must be willing to let go of any dangling carrots that keep us psychologically bonded to the narcissist. We must let them go completely. We have to literally, make that decision. I let go of getting that gain from them. Now, you see, a lot of people think that if I don't get it from them, I'm not going to get it at all. But that's the fallacy here. We must do this if we are ever to be truly free and independent. And when you do it, the narcissistic person knows. They know, because this is the end then of their ability to control you. And they will threaten each of the areas. You will find that. They'll threaten to withdraw it from you. And they know the areas too over which your fears are. They know you inside out. And they'll threaten to withdraw it from you either overtly or covertly in order to force you to submit back. But when you discover that you do not have to rely on them. No, you don't. For these things, anything that you think is keeping you with that narcissistic person. Trust me, that's not the way to get it. The true way to have what you want is to step away from them. Because then the real way of having those things will come to you. It's amazing what doors will open. And because of this, you're going to discover the joy and the freedom and the adventure of life. So the narcissist can offer you nothing, really, in reality. They cannot offer you anything because they are users. They do not offer anything freely, but only with the price of slavery and bondage and subservience. And ultimately, they seek to destroy you. So you can gain nothing from the narcissist, only your own demise. That's what they offer to you, really, behind all these false carrots. Now, you are born to be free. So don't allow any of these false carrots to keep you in slavery any longer. Be willing to let them go and then watch how you are given them back in double, in treble amounts. Because that's the divine justice that I myself have witnessed in my clients' lives and in my own. Lovely to be here with you today. Please let me know if there are any topics you'd like me to discuss, and any feedback on the videos as well. You know, I'm never too sure, you know, am I going on too long? Would you prefer shorter input? Do feel free to offer any suggestions to me as well, because I'm here and I want to be of service to you in the best way that I can. Okay, everybody, have a lovely day, and I shall see you again later this week. Take care. Bye.